Hey, how's it going to do? Back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how the NBA has betrayed Damian Lillard. Now, when I say the NBA, I'm mainly talking about the NBA media and how he is portrayed and all that kind of stuff. So not really how the NBA itself has disrespected and betrayed him, but more like how the media doesn't give him the credit that he deserves. And now, before y'all think I'm a Damian Lillard stan or something like that, I'm really not. I'm just an all-around NBA fan, and if I'm anything, I'm a Pelicans fan. So really, Damian Lillard, I have no feelings bad or good towards him. I just think he doesn't get the respect that he rightfully deserves. So in this video, I'm beginning to what he has done in his career so far to earn the respect and how the media has disrespected him and how they have not given him, and maybe a factor or two why that is what it is. So if you do like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without running on too much, let's get right into this video. So first things first, let's get into what he has actually done in his NBA career so far. And to do that, I'm going to go all the way back to his rookie season. So in his rookie season, he started off his career very good, pretty much as good as you can start off your NBA career, as in his rookie year he was able to average 19 points per game, 6.5 assists per game, and on 42% shooting from the field. On top of that, he even won Rookie of the Year. So really, his rookie season could not have went any better, because obviously he got nominated as the best rookie of his draft class, which means he had the best rookie year out of all the rookies that were drafted that year. So really, his career couldn't have started off any better. And then since then, he improved every single year, and for his second year and third year in the NBA, he made his first 2 All-Star appearances. So really, the first 3 years of his career were going great. He couldn't be better. He made 2 All-Star games in only 3 seasons in the NBA, and in the 1 season he did it, he won Rookie of the Year. So far, so good. All sunshine and rainbows so far. But then things would get a little bit rocky when he would go on to miss the All-Star game for the next 2 seasons of his career, and that was despite increasing in every major statistical category for those 2 years. In both those years, he increased on his seasons from when he made the All-Star game. So despite being a better overall player and putting up better numbers, he still did not make the All-Star game. Now, I'm not going to get into that right now, but a little bit later in this video, I'm going to get into why he missed the All-Star game and why he probably should have made it those 2 years. So that was really the first rocky thing, but I mean, he kind of fixed it because he would go on to make 4 straight other NBA All-Stars, including this year's, along with a 5-time All-NBA player, and he even made the Western Conference Finals, where yes, he was swept, but he was going against a 2K My League rebuild in the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and all of them. So they don't even, that 4-0, that's really nothing to be ashamed of. He still made the Western Conference Finals when they were extreme underdogs, and that was very impressive. Now, to a normal NBA player, this resume of what he has put together so far would be a great resume, just unbelievable, and it is a very good resume, but it doesn't show everything that he has done and hasn't been able to accomplish, as he should have made those All-Star games in those 2 seasons. And then also, I mean, he has never been in MVP conversations once, and that is despite but being the main contributing factor to why this Portland Trailblazers is as good as they are, because they are consistently a playoff team and sometimes even a very hard out in the playoffs, and they're very competitive at all times, and they've beat many teams that they should not have beaten in the playoffs and made it farther than they ever should have because of Damian Lillard and how good he is. And despite him consistently being the best player on a very competitive, very good team, putting up great numbers and being a superstar, he never gets in the NBA MVP conversation, which is a little ridiculous, and that's mainly because he goes on such a small market, and that really contributes to the other factor I'm getting to a little bit later. So yeah, but now the actual disrespect is that, I mean, in the years that he missed the All-Star game, that some of the guards that made it over him that were Chris Paul and Klay Thompson, those were the Western Conference guards at the time that made it over him, and really they didn't make it because they had better years, because they did not have a better year. Now yes, Chris Paul is great, Klay Thompson is great, but so is Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard just had better seasons than both of them, at least statistically, and really the 2 guys were pretty much carried by the names of their teams, as Chris Paul at the time was on the hype of the Lob City Clippers, and the Clippers were a very exciting team to watch, very energetic, and were one of the most popular teams, and he was carried by that. Now yes, Chris Paul deserved to be an All-Star, but did not deserve to be an All-Star over Damian Lillard that year. And then Klay Thompson, who yes is a great player, but I would say is least important to the Warriors than Damian Lillard is important to the Portland Trailblazers, and Damian Lillard just had an overall better impact and was a better player than Klay Thompson that season. And the reason Klay Thompson made it is because he was on the 73-8 Golden State Warriors. And let's be honest, if you were a star level like Draymond Green, I mean, you were making the All-Star game if you were pretty much one of the big four on that 73-8 Warriors team. It didn't matter just because of the name alone and how historic that team actually was. So yes, Klay Thompson and Chris Paul are All-Star level players and deserve to be in the All-Star game, but those years that they were selected over him, they did not deserve that at all, because Damian Lillard did play better, and he mainly didn't make it due to the popularity contest that the All-Star game ultimately is. Because let's be honest here, what's going to get more votes? The starting shooting guard and great three-point shooter in Klay Thompson for the 73-8 finals contending team, and Chris Paul on another finals contending team, or Damian Lillard on the Portland Trailblazers? Like, obviously, the other two people are going to get way more votes just because of how the market size and how the voting for the All-Star game ultimately works. So that is just one way that the media has disrespected Damian Lillard and how the NBA culture has disrespected Damian Lillard. But now more of a direct way that the NBA media disrespects it, because that's more of a fan thing and the fans disrespecting him. But now more of a media side, the MVP race. There has been many years, not many, about 2 or 3 years now, Damian Lillard should have at least been in the conversation for it, and he hasn't even really came close at all to being in the conversation for that MVP case scenario or the MVP award at all. And that is mainly because, like I said, he plays for the Portland Trailblazers, and the media, that's not the flashy thing to pick. Because let's be honest, Giannis, the reason he makes it in a small market is because, well, he's Giannis, the dude's great, so he's an exception. But then notice how all the other MVP candidates are from big markets. Kawhi Leonard, Los Angeles Clippers; LeBron James, Los Angeles Lakers; Anthony Davis, Los Angeles Lakers. Like, even look at this year's MVP candidates, they're all from big markets. Kevin Durant, New York; Brooklyn, that's a big market. James Harden, Brooklyn, even though he's not really in it, he is right there. Steph Curry, Golden State, big market. LeBron James, Los Angeles Lakers, big market. So really, all the big market names and big market guys are pretty much the front runners for the MVP award more times than they're not. And that is a huge, huge thing, because the media gets way more attention for pushing these big market guys than they would for pushing someone in the Portland Trailblazers. So Damian Lillard's kind of put in this position where he's like the unpopular kid at lunch. Like, yeah, everybody knows, like, yeah, you're cool and everything, but you're not the coolest, like, which the Los Angeles Lakers are. So the media isn't going to give you as much attention as they are the other people all the way up here. So it's kind of like he's just that dude that everybody knows in school, but no one really, like, completely messes with and isn't that close to him. He's just that guy that everybody's cool with, pretty much, is what the analogy was. That's probably a bad analogy, but whatever. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say. And then another reason, which is kind of his fault, but not really a fault at all, is that he is loyal, maybe to his demise. As, I mean, despite many chances to leave Portland and go to a legit contender, he stays. And now that is not a bad thing at all. Loyalty should never be looked at as a bad thing. But I mean, let's be honest, if he really wants to have a chance of winning an MVP and really improve his legacy to become one of those, like, elite level guards who ever play the game, which he already is, but if he really wants to get in that conversation with all the, like, really big NBA analysts and all that, he has to win a championship, and he is not going to win a championship with Portland. They just don't have the money. Free agents don't want to go to freaking Portland because it's Portland. And then, I mean, this with the team they have constructed right now, they're not good enough to win the NBA Finals, especially with how super teams are. So yes, I do think Damian Lillard is good enough to be the second or even the best player on a championship team. It just cannot be in Portland, because they're never going to be able to build a contender, at least with how their team is right now. And with Damian Lillard hitting 30 years old soon, he is, or I think he is 30 already, he is in no place to be able to wait for them to rebuild this team and maybe make them into a contender. He is in no place for that. He has to either leave to win a finals, or he can stay loyal, which has kind of been his whole thing, and just be always a legit, playoff contender and a hard playoff out that can never really go to the NBA Finals. And with him never winning the NBA Finals, that's going to put a really big asterisk on his name, as it's not going to involve as much playoff success, unless playoff success usually results in more scrutiny and people don't look as highly as they would on a player like Damian Lillard if he was on, like, someone like the Lakers winning NBA Finals every year, at least for competing for NBA Finals every season. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think Damian Lillard is disrespected? On your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. All glory to God. Hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.